Hello everyone, thank you for joining this webinar. Today we are going to talk about maintenance based on sensors, and it is another one of our deeper dives into Dynaway EAM for Business Central specifically. So the team today, with me I have Christoph, who is our product team lead. Christoph is here on the left hand side of the screen. He's our team lead for Dynaway EAM for Business Central, and I'll be his wingman throughout the presentation. And if you have any questions, please use the chat log. Christoph will take us through the presentation now. And as mentioned, it is maintenance based on sensors. It is one of the topics that we quite often discuss among our new customers and existing customers. So it is a great topic. Christoph, you take it away.
Thank you, Mikkel. All right. So I will try to do it in 20 minutes. That shouldn't be a problem, but I will just also show you how you can get information from outside Business Central. So when we're talking about the maintenance based on the sensors, we have on mind that, for example, your equipment is sending some data about the state of the equipment, about some values, like, for example, GPS coordinates. It can be a pressure, it can be temperature, whatever these sensors can send, and that your asset get the data, in fact, and also that you want to do the maintenance based on those values which you are getting. So we have, in fact, two options how to do it in Business Central, and I will try to show you both of those options. One is a very simple one, and the second is maybe a little more complicated when you will look on it, but in my opinion, it's more. Sometimes it's even easier and more useful if you will get to it. So everything what we are talking about the sensors, we're talking about the measurements, and let me just open my measurement list. So you can see that I have many measurements which can send me some data. For example, I have a thermometer on hole 1, and this is in Celsius degrees, and I can register the values for it. But I also have some more measurements here, like latitude, longitude, pressure, temperature. So all of those can send me some data related to the values which they are giving. So how to register the data? It's very simple to do it manually. You can just click the button register readings, and you can say when it happened and what was the reading. So for example, it was 12 degrees, and that's all what you need to do to register one sensor. The other option which you can have is that you, instead of registering one, you can use the measurement journal, and you can do the registration for many measurements, in this case at the same time. So let me just do it for my two measurements here. So for example, I have this one, and let's say that temperature now was 21 degrees, and the second one that the temperature was 22 degrees. So I just need to click button register, and automatically you will see that I have my registrations here for both of the readings for both of the measurements. So that's the basic, right? And you can simply just create the measurement, add it to the asset, and start using it. But in this release which we had, we put something which we called measurement devices. The difference is that the devices, in fact, have inside many measurements. So we wanted to do it that you can very easily create measurement devices and also the measurements for those devices. So let me just create a new device. I will just name it, right? My measurement device. And I can assign the profile to my device. I have one profile created, and if I will do that, you will see that my measurements are automatically created. I don't need to create them manually. I will show you how to do it in a second. So you can see that they have a number which is starting with the measurement device number and then next number. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you can see, my profile said that I have 4 measurements in one device. One is the latitude, the second is longitude, and pressure and temperature. So system automatically knows that my device in this profile has those measurements, and they were created automatically. So how system knows it? If you are on the measurement device profile, you can, it's not mandatory, but you can create a card which shows you what are the measurement categories, and by measurement categories we also know what is the measurement unit of measure of this particular device. So this is my template, let's say, and that allows me to very simply create devices based on this template, right? So that's one thing. The second thing which you can also set up here, you can see it here, that I can set that I have a thresholds, and the threshold says what are my acceptable values, the warning values, and not acceptable values. And based on that, we will see our reading in the 3 different colors: green, yellow, and red. So system will, you will automatically see that, okay, and the last reading was, for example, okay for us or not. So that's what we can do, and we can assign our device to many assets. So I can say that this particular device is mounted in some machine. So for example, in my wheel number 39. That's only the example, but as you can see, you can assign one device to many assets, and why we are doing that, I will show you in a second. But you see how I put it, the values manually to the system, but many of our customers, also partners, ask us how you can simply create automatically the values and put them in the system. So of course, every example will be different because you will have different sources of that. You can connect, for example, your sensors to or devices. You can connect them with Azure IoT Central, Azure IoT Hub, or any other hub which can give the values and send them to the cloud, right? But later, how to get them to Business Central is fairly easy. I just created a small Power Automate, which is sending me a data. So let me just show you that. So this one is for my one device, and I just trigger it manually, but you can understand that the trigger can be a little different. So this one is sending me a data about my measurement. In this case, I just put it manually, and some reading number and reading value, and I have this for all my measurements which I needed to create. So records are created automatically, and then I'm just registering those values. So if I will go and run this flow, and let me just run it with reading number 8 and our temperature 45 degrees. Right, the system just running the flow. Let's go and see if we already can see it. So, oh, I think we already have it. So you can see that I put the temperature 45, and it's already showed me on red because I decided that everything over 40 is already too much. What you can do also with the devices, you can see all the readings from all the measurements assigned to the device in a tabular way. So you can see that I have my reading numbers, I have also when we did the reading, and I have all the values, right? So for example, temperature, it was 45 now. What you can do on this screen, of course, you can filter this view, but you also can see the chart. So I can, for example, check if what were the temperatures over my period, and as you can see, this is the values which I just put in the system. So it was little fluctuating, and now I have 45 as my reading, the last one, so I can just see on the chart if everything is okay. Of course, if I will move to, for example, to pressure, which I didn't change a lot, you can see that it's a straight line, that the value was always 1.99. So that's how you can create the devices, how you can register the value in the system, but we need it for something, right? You know that Dynaway is doing the maintenance extension to Business Central. So how we can plan the maintenance based on our sensor, how we can trigger that. You already can see that one of my temperature will trigger one of the frequencies. So let's see, let's go to my work order plan and see what I created. So of course, you need the work order plan, and let's open this one. This is my last plan, which I already created. So, and let me just reopen it for a second. So you can see that, of course, I need to put which asset I would like to create a maintenance, what is the category, what is the priority, so system knows for which asset we are doing and what, but we putting when it should be triggered. And one of our frequency type is a measurement, and you can see that I put it as a corrective maintenance. You can change it as well, but you can see when I click the schedule is that I choose my specific measurement number. So in this case, temperature, and I also choose that please trigger this work order whenever the temperature will be above or equal to 20 degrees. That means that whenever I will register that there was more than 20 degrees, the system will trigger the work order. So let's go to the, let's release it, and let's go to our work order, the planning worksheet. And if I will just click the planning worksheet, and I will just delete this, all what I have here, let's calculate it. So you can see that one of the lines which were proposed by the system is based on the measurement, right? And this is the measurement, this is the description which we had. This is because we had more than 20 degrees. We registered 45 degrees. That's why system proposed me this work order. So if I will click accept action message, and I will just carry out action message, I will have my work order created based on the readings which we got. It may happen that, let me register one more time reading, that the sensor is still sending us the data, and now it will send us again 45 degrees. So we don't create another work order based on the same work order plan. So we still will have only one work order created, and we will just tell to the system that we need to close existing other readings which also would be triggered. So I have my work order. Let's say that there was some resource which just went, oh, sorry, of course I didn't want to go to the plan, I wanted to go to the work orders. So let me just open the work orders. This is my work order. So we had some resource which went and spent some time on it. So Evangelia was working a full day on it, and let's just post and close it. See, something which I got at this moment is that system detected that my sensor was still sending some data. So if we will not close the additional readings, system will again try to create the same work order. But what's the point to creating the same work order? If we are already working, we just fix it during that time when we get another reading. So that's what we just click OK here, and then system will not propose anymore the work order for this particular measurement. So if I will go to my measurement entries, you can see all the history, what was registered, right? So this is my registration. You can also see how many work orders will be triggered or should be triggered based on this measurement, and I can always click here and you will see what are the work order plans which should be triggered. You can see my work order plan for this particular asset, and this is the frequency. But I also can see how many open I have, so how many work order should be created. I should mention that creating the readings or registering the reading, any user can do it. We don't license that, so you can just simply create and so anyone can do it. However, there is one exception of that. You've seen that I was doing the planning for the work orders, but if you will go to asset management setup, so there is a special button which is schedule work orders on measurement registration. And then if I will do that, and let me just create one more time the reading. So now I will just register, it was over 20, right? So I can register reading number 9, and I will just register 33 degrees. Okay. Let's go and refresh this page. I will see that I have any new readings. Okay, I have new readings, but let's go and see if I have any work order. So you can see that now my work order was created automatically. I even didn't need to go to the planning. It was just created when I just marked this checkbox in asset management setup. So, but then the person who is registering the measurements need to have access to Dynaway module. So as you can see, and just the last word, you can create as many measurements as you want. You can use also the devices if you want. You need to assign the measurement to the asset and create a work order plan which will trigger the work order based on measurement value. And that's all from my side. So back to you, Nico.
Thank you, Christoph. That was indeed a speed dating presentation for maintenance based on sensors. I still hope it clarified some of the questions that we often get. And of course, it was recorded as you can see on the next slide, it will become part of our library. So all of these webinars, they're on demand on our website already. If you enter Business Central as the main topic, you will see resources, and there you'll see our library. We do have a few more coming up. We added a few more since the latest presentation. So next week we'll have resource allocation and scheduling. Then we have maintenance invoicing, meaning invoicing internally, so intercompany invoicing, you could name it not invoicing towards customers. And then we have integration with manufacturing, which is a separate extension to our offering and part of the enterprise license plan, and so is maintenance invoicing as well. I really hope that you liked the presentation here. Go to dynaway.com to find more information, and if you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out. And I wish you all a very fantastic day, and I hope to see you here soon again. See you then. Have a good day. Bye-bye.